What is up, hemorrhoids and mongoloids? Welcome back to the Sammy Whammy YouTube channel, the least successful YouTube channel on the entire website. Since I haven't uploaded in a week, I decided to treat all three of you subscribers to a new video, and this video is just going to be talking about stuff I don't like, or particularly stuff I hate, stuff that kind of irks me, stuff that irritates me, stuff that doesn't make me happy, you know? Hope you enjoy the Half-Life Blue Shift gameplay in the background. I really like that game, and I think it's low-key, like, kind of underrated. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, video time. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about that I don't like very much is record collectors. Now, record collector may may seem like to you like, why do you hate them? Like, what's your issue? To be honest, I just think it's kind of weird. Like if you're like an older person or if you're someone who got your records from an older person, I can totally understand it. Like, yeah, those records come from a time when like it was the only real medium of listening to music, or at least it was one of the few mediums. But realistically, now there are so many younger collectors who just feel like it's a big thing. Like, oh yeah, I've got to listen to music. I gotta get the record player. I will say records are kind of cool to listen to. Like a lot of people say they kind of like the vinyl static sounds cool, and then it just sounds warmer, you know. And it's nothing can really beat the satisfaction of seeing a vinyl record like spinning around. Some of you may have seen videos of them, but it doesn't really like do it justice. It just looks so cool when you're in person and you're like looking at it spinning around the sound. And then the mechanics behind it, it's just a circular slab of vinyl with a bunch of grooves in it, and somehow that can make the music, and that just blows my mind. But I feel like people kind of give them too much credit, like, oh yeah, like I love it. And like the vinyl industry died so badly for 20 years, and then all of a sudden everyone's buying them, and I just think it's kind of weird. And then like this is more of like a I'm looking out for you. I hate being that person like, oh yeah, I'm helping you. I'm the voice of reason. I'm the real smart guy. But like seriously, like there are so many people who buy mountains of records. They buy everything that they can possibly find, and they just end up wasting like insane amounts of money. Each record individually is like $30, and there are some people who have hundreds, thousands, tens, like hundreds of thousands of records. Maybe not that much, but you know what I mean. People have ginormous fucking record collections, and I just don't know why. Like, dude, we live in a time where music is free to listen to, or at least you can pay a very small fee in order to listen to it, and pretty much everything is available. Spotify exists, Apple Music exists, and then there's all the other shitty music platforms that no one really gives a shit about. But like, dude, you can hop into Spotify or Apple Music and you can just listen to stuff for free, or you can just pay like a few dollars to get no ads and get access to anything, and like be able to skip as many songs as you want. And I just think that's absolutely nuts. And I feel like that's kind of a big advantage because you don't have to pay 10, 30 bucks, like 50 bucks to get a physical copy of the music. So we're talking like, you know, cassettes, 8 tracks, vinyl, CD, and my voice just okay. It's just a bunch of stuff like that, and I'm just watching a Vortigaunt fucking torture scientist in the gameplay right now. That was awesome. Dude was like, ah! Sorry, I just thought that was super funny. But yeah, realistically, music's just so expensive to buy physically. Like, literally, all you need is literally any device that connects to the internet, and you can just listen to music for free. And vinyl people are kind of pretentious because there are so many young people who do it, and with the industry getting so big now, like everything is just released on vinyl, and it doesn't like if you want to collect vinyl, it's like just buy a few. There are so many people who are like, I gotta get everything, and then it's just they just kind of make a fool out of themselves. So yeah. Next thing I want to talk about is kind of like, so I wrote all my points down on the Google Doc while I was like exporting the gameplay video, just because it took some time and I wanted to get some stuff. So the next few points I have kind of like three of them are roughly connected, so I'll just talk about them. Number one, Starbucks. Why does Starbucks exist, or why does our Starbucks have stuff like they do? Like, dude, I recently, just out of curiosity, wanted to check in on, like, calories or whatever. Dude, a fucking large Starbucks, or venti, is like 1,000 calories. That's like a milkshake worth of calories. Like, dude, I can understand flavored coffee. Like, oh yeah, I gotta get that vanilla. Or if you want to put, like, sugar in it or something. Like, I totally respect that. But I feel like Starbucks just makes mainly desserts that have coffee in them, rather than, coffee that has sweeteners, cool flavors to it. Like, I don't drink coffee at all because I have caffeine, like, intolerance, and it makes me feel really queasy, and, like, basically whenever I consume it, it makes me feel like shit. But yeah, I feel like people who actually go there are just kind of fucking themselves over. Like, dude, just go to Tim's, go to some small coffee joint. You'll be able to, like, get good coffee, and you can actually taste it, because, I don't know, you get some big ass shit from Starbucks. You're practically just drinking a fucking shake, and you're tasting more sugar and calories than straight up coffee. Coffee's so healthy, but, like, dude, I just think it's kind of dumb. Despite my caffeine intolerance, sometimes I might find myself having coffee even if it makes me want to fucking kill myself after, because it genuinely tears up my body. Like, I ended up in the hospital one time from it. Don't worry about it. But yeah. Speaking of calories, I want to flame a few companies, restaurants, or whatever. Who just have, like, ginormous fucking portion sizes. First of all, I want to talk about Costco. Now, I've only been to Costco once, and that was when I was in California, just out of curiosity. And they have, like, if you don't know what Costco is, it's a store where you get, like, a membership for it, and it's basically, from what I remember, it's kind of like it looks like a distribution center inside of it. Basically, it's kind of like they brand themselves as bulk, like, groceries, so they sell everything in, like, ginormous packages. If you basically, for the, like, if you aren't American, like, I feel like that's just stereotypical American type stuff. Like, they're fat, they eat everything, they get ginormous packages of everything, everything's huge. That's what Costco is. Like, if you go in their bakery, I remember their muffins are like twice, three times the size of normal muffins. They're huge. That, like, they get, like, chip bags, but that are, like, four times the size of your average chip bag. It makes me feel weird. And yeah, we went there out of curiosity. Some people that we met up with in California wanted to show us what Costco was like, and I don't want to go there ever again. It feels gross being around, like, so many, like, large packages of food that are that big, and it makes me just feel weird. I also want to talk about restaurants like, I don't know, the Cheesecake Factory, who give you ginormous pieces of food. I've been there once, twice, three times? I don't know. But I got a pasta there one time for lunch, which means that their portion sizes are going to be smaller. But I got a ginormous bowl. I could only eat, like, 1/3 of it. And that's all I ate was pasta. I didn't eat anything else. Like, Cheesecake Factory portion sizes are fucking ginormous. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're out looking for, like, leftovers or something, or maybe they're trying to make the people who eat at their restaurants, like, gain, like, 30 pounds, but, like, realistically, I just think it's kind of a dumbass, like, idea. My favorite places to eat at are delis, because they literally give you one small sandwich, maybe a small side of, like, chips, or, I don't know, like, vegetables or something. And I can totally eat that. Plus, it has, like, 1/7 of the calories that a fucking pasta from the Cheesecake Factory would have. I don't eat much, like, at all. Like, some people think I'm anorexic. But what I will say is that, like, there's no reason to have food that is so fucking ginormous. And I think that's kind of dumb. One other thing I want to talk about, why is body positivity a thing? Because some people will just say, ah, fuck it, I'll just eat all of it. Like, and I feel like a lot of portion sizes have really fucked people up. And they just make, I'm not saying necessarily raising people are fat, but, like, I feel like fat people just don't, I don't know, they're weird. I feel like a lot of, like, I don't know. I don't want to get into debate type beat, but what, like, oh yeah, you be bigger than this, but that, like, what I mean is that, like, fat, like, obviously the people who are actively, like, who are fat and making a difference, that's actually, like, I don't know, good progress that's going on regularly, that, like, stuff that actually makes sense, like, stuff, like, they're actively, like, making themselves healthier people. Like, I fuck with that, that's cool. But there's so many of you fat people who keep getting more fat, or people who just stay fat. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm a person too. Dude, it is not that hard to go out and exercise. And this is coming from, well, I mean, it might be rich coming from someone like me who exercises quite a bit, or swims quite a bit, and walks quite a bit. But it's just kind of like, dude, what is your problem with that, dude? Like, I feel like you're just lazy. Just go out, do it. It's not hard. It is not hard at all. Just go out, do it. It pisses me off whenever I see fat motherfuckers just, like, I've seen people on social media just flexing their big ass stomachs, or they're like, oh, I'm huge, I love my body, I'm so fat. Like, dude, what? I don't know. People are so dumb. I don't know. That does piss me off a lot. That's why it's in my video about stuff I hate. So yeah. Speaking of things that aren't that hard, I feel like a lot of people who don't, like, who have messy rooms, or, like, people who, like, don't keep up with hygiene are kind of losers too, because it's not that hard to do. There's some people who go out with yellow teeth, very unkempt hair, when it takes, like, a minute or two out of your life to keep up with that. Or, like, cleaning your room. At least, like, you could not make your room get more messy. I don't know, it pisses me off. There was that trend, like, a month or so ago where everyone was reacting to videos of people with, like, messy rooms. Like, awful. And I'm like, I hate people who do that. I genuinely hate it when people do that. Again, it's kind of weird coming from me, because I'm a super minimalist person. Like, there's, like, nothing in my room. There's, like, my PC desk, computer, all that sort of shit, bed. I've got some drawers with stuff, and then my few musical instruments, awards, and I don't know, like, posters and stuff on the wall. Like, it's a very simple room. And then there's, on the other end, there's people with very cluttered rooms, which, yeah. And then there's, on the very far end, people with fucking junkyards, landfills, like, people who are creating a new colony of undiscovered species who originated from the residue of their trash. Their mold turns into, like, slugs. And I don't know what I'm saying. Basically, these animals that you see me killing in Half-Life Blue Shift. Half-Life Blue Shift, the gameplay? Yeah. That is what results from having a messy room. So, yeah, that's my PSA. You gotta clean up your room, or else a bunch of weird Half-Life monsters are gonna show up. I fuck with Vortigots, though, and Half-Life 2, particularly Half-Life 2 Episode 2, they're pretty cool. But, like, in this game, they're dicks. I'm gonna shift the video to two other points in my Google Doc that kind of, like, match each other, which is why I kind of put them together, and that's people who argue about music and objective reviewers. I think, let's just keep it real. Music and other art is art. It's mainly meant to express, and I feel like people who are like, oh yeah, this is objectively the best, I feel like it's just kind of weird. Like, I can understand, like, a large collective of people liking something, liking a record or a painting or, I don't know, some other piece of media. But in reality, I just feel like you're just becoming some pretentious loser who, like, dude, I don't have to like that. And if I don't like that, don't think that I'm going to change my opinion just so I can agree with you and say that, oh yeah, I like the thing that you like. Or, like, I don't know. And then a lot of people have kind of become people who are like, oh yeah, you don't like the thing that I like? Well, your existence has been invalidated. You're dumb. You're like, you know what I mean. And then again, objective reviewers, like I feel like the best reviewers are people who really give their thoughts. Like music, for example, the purpose of music is for the artist to express themselves and the listener to enjoy what they're listening to. And then people who like, oh, I didn't like listening to that record. And then everyone else is like, you're supposed to like it. You're supposed to love it. Or then there's like this wasn't written on my Google Doc, but I kind of want to tangent into this because I feel like it's a really good example. Why the hell like, that very gray line between experimental music? Because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, experimental, so it's the music is experimental, so you have to love it. Or it's like, oh yeah, this sounds different, so it means it's better. Or there are a lot of people who kind of have the mindset of like influence implies superiority, which means like, oh yeah, this influenced a lot of stuff that came after it, which means it's better than the stuff that came after it because the people who made it were ahead of their time. No, I don't know. It depends. Some stuff that's ahead of its time sounds really cool to me, and I actually like it. And then there's stuff that I don't know. You know what I mean? Next point. This next point's gonna be fucking microscopic. Like my explanation's just gonna be a little tiddlywink of the video, just because it doesn't. I don't know. It's pretty like. I feel like you can understand it very easily. I hate vacuum cleaners and how noisy they are, or like lawnmowers, or any piece of machinery or technology that's super annoying. For instance, my PC, that if you turn up the volume of this video up just a little bit, you can hear the fan spinning around it. Like, I understand why it needs fans, it's supposed to cool it down, but why are they so loud? Everyone's like, oh yeah, we should make flying cars, we should make the metaverse, but like, what we should be inventing is technology that makes the loud technology quieter. That is where we should be progressing as a society right now, dude. It is that is the agenda that we should be on right now. We need to make quieter machinery because it's so annoying listening to computer fans being so loud, being woken up by lawnmowers in the morning, or I don't know, trying to talk to your friends while you're playing a video game or something, and your mom turns on the vacuum in the other room, and all you hear is just and it's just super annoying. So yeah, that's that point. Next point is also pretty small. It's gonna also take up a fucking hair of the video. I hate people who have ADHD. I don't have ADHD personally, but I feel like a lot of people who have ADHD are just kind of annoying. Like, for instance, I don't know, a lot of, oh yeah, you're making fundamental, like, I don't care. If you have ADHD, a lot of people who have it, I don't really like you. I feel like they're very annoying and very energetic for no reason. Like, I'm fine with people being a little energetic, having a little bit of energy, because you kind of cheer me up. But I feel like people with ADHD are just loud, crazy. They talk really fast, and it pisses me off. A lot of people on the internet have it, and I just think it's annoying. Annoying? Fuck. And then a lot of people with ADHD are the reason that internet content now is so annoying. Like, like you'll hop on TikTok or YouTube or something, and you're just bombarded by editing, the annoying captions that like have that effect where it like jumps out at you when it appears. I hate that. Or the people who are like, in this video, like, dude, I don't like it. So yeah, that's that. Can we have less ADHD in the future? Human society is digressing with ADHD being such a big thing. I feel like everyone has it nowadays, and it pisses me off. Another complaint I have about people, and that's that, like, people who have shitty tempers. Like, I feel like you're just annoying and stupid. Like, why do you have why are you so annoying? I feel like a lot of people who are just kind of, I don't know, people who have, like, for example, when I'm in my car, I have zero, like, issues with anger when I'm in the car. The only time I do get angry is if, like, I'm driving with someone and they're, like, screaming at me about the way I'm driving or, like, whatever. But, like, if I'm in, like, I don't think about other people. It's more of, like, yeah, that person's probably pissed off. I don't know. Or it's, like, I don't really pay it any mind, to be honest. I don't know. I just think it's, I don't know. But if someone does have a shitty temper, I feel like you need to just chill out. And a lot of people don't understand that, despite how easy of like a thing it should be for people to listen to and like take in. Because, come on, man. And one final pet peeve that I have with people that kind of pisses me off is people who like hyper focus on stuff, or people who make like their entire personality one thing. I I remember seeing a post earlier today where someone was asking people like, what's like something annoying that people make their entire personality, and people were mentioning individual things, and I was like, everything that people hyper focus on and make their entire personality is annoying. I feel like people who make certain things, they're like, I don't know, people who are all about weightlifting, who make that their entire personality, are just kind of losers. Like, yeah, I feel like people don't make their personal life. I'm not saying that you have to make your personal life a big thing of like a big aspect of how you live, but like it's not necessary. So like I feel like the good person needs to have different like aspects of their life in check, like multiple hobbies or multiple things that you care about or think about. So I don't know, people who kind of, oh yeah, I'm this, that's who I am, this hobby is who I am, and I'm like, you're kind of a loser for that. So F off. I guess this isn't really a personality thing like the past 3 points that I talked about, but I feel like Instagram motherfuckers, like influencers or whatever, are just kind of weird. I feel like I wrote this on my Google Doc very vaguely because I just didn't really know how to talk about it. I just knew that I hated them. There are a lot of aspects about it, like for instance, like people using their fame for like not very good things. I feel like people who do that sort of stuff kind of suck. And then there's like people who just spend all their lives on social media, and it's just kind of dumb. And then there's the people on Instagram who just take pictures of everything. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna love this. And then they just post like absolutely everything they do. And then I don't know. A lot of people who use Instagram, it's just kind of dumb. Or like, I feel like people who live their lives on Snapchat and Twitter are kind of dumb too. So that's just kind of my consensus on that. I know it's kind of like a half-assed like explanation of that certain point, but like I don't really know how to. I feel like everyone doesn't like that sort of stuff, so I don't really have to interpret it, because there's so many different ways that you can go about it, and it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's that's that point for you guys. The second to last thing I want to talk about, this is another, I guess this is kind of a personality thing. I didn't really think about it when I was talking about that one other thing, but it's the art slash band slash cringe slash, I don't know. You know what I mean. A lot of people when they're in grade 6, 7, 8, 9, they're just kind of losers. A lot of people just kind of make it such a big point of their life. For example, a lot of people like to talk about how they're depressed or sad or whatever, when literally all of them are faking it, because those areas of your life are pretty chill, or at least if they suck, like it's not enough to be. I feel like I'm invalidating people, but like, you know what I mean. Like, and then there's like a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, this has more will to live than I do. Like, what's impressive about that? No way, you're depressed? Like, what? Am I supposed to care about you? Because clearly the way that you're talking about it makes it seem like you want me to know that, and you're fine with it. Why are you depressed then? It's kind of like a loophole. Or, not a loophole, it's a paradox. It's funny. And then there's like, the humor that they have is just kind of dumb. And then the music they listen to is ass. And a bunch of shit like that. I don't know. I feel like everything about them as people is just kind of annoying, and it's not really worth it. And I don't know. Pretty much everyone grows out of their phases eventually. There's like 1 out of 10 people who kind of keeps living on being some cringy loser, or at least they'll become like just geeks or nerds who are kind of low-key subtle about their interest, and I'm totally fine with that. It's just every now and then you'll see some adult being some total fucking loser running around all the time. And it's just kind of dumb. Then there's like art kids, And as someone who, I shouldn't say I was an art kid, I was just some kid who liked art. There's a difference, I promise you. And then like the band kids, never was in a band. I like in a school band. I like music and I like playing music with people, but it's not a official like what I mean by band is very contemporary, like instruments. I like old instruments a lot, but it's not school band. So a lot of people who do that, like a lot of art kids are total losers, like the animation meme type people, or like people who just are obsessed with a bunch of garbage. They're just weird. They have dumb art styles that piss me off. I don't know. And as someone like me, I hated like showing people my art because, especially when I was younger, when I was 14, 15, when I was actually doing art, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're a loser," or like I'd attract the wrong crowd, a bunch of losers who do like that sort of shit, and it just kind of annoys me. Like, why? What's your deal with that? Like, I don't know. I feel like you're just kind of dumb for doing. What's the deal? And then finally, like the band kids, a lot of people who are in band just to learn an instrument and be able to play with people, they'll move on to proper philharmonic type shit later in life. I feel bad for you for having to deal with all the losers who do band. I remember I was visiting a university doing a tour, and they were talking about the university's band, and they were like, "Is anyone interested in joining the band?" And then some loser who was like 6'3", dressed up in like Minecraft clothes, was like, "Me, I love band." And I was like, "Shut up. I don't care about you. You are completely invalidated as a person. You're such a fucking loser. I want you to fucking die." On some real shit. So, yeah. That's the end of the video, except I do have one last point, and that's that I hate people who don't like or subscribe to my channel. My channel isn't doing good or anything. I've had 3 subs for so long. Just like, subscribe. This has been Sammy Whammy. Peace.